How's it going out there, YouTube land and also social media lands? Welcome to an all-new video. In this video, we're going to be doing a movie review of a new film that just came out a week ago and is a based-on true story film about a very famous car maker. So we're going to get right into that. Before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so don't miss this video and the other videos I put up. And as always, people, if you enjoy my content here on YouTube, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, all those great places. Patreon. I pretty much post regularly on those, so definitely check them out. As always, let's get right in this. So welcome one and all to an all-new video. So like I was saying before, we're doing a movie review of a new film that just came out about a week ago and is based on a true story about a certain car maker. And that happens to be the film called Ferrari. Yeah, Ferrari. Yeah. So Ferrari basically gives you kind of a certain time window of Enzo Ferrari's life. And basically it's about him trying to kind of rebuild the company and get it out of bankruptcy, basically. Otherwise, he's going to fold. And it kind of really centralizes on that section of his story and his life and kind of like the accidents that happen with some drivers as he's trying to rebuild the Ferrari empire. And I thought that was like a really cool concept that they gave us they focal pointed on something different than just like Enzo's life and like go from the beginning to the end of his life. They didn't kill him off in it, have him, down when he died. They didn't have like the whole situation with his, relationships and stuff like that. They kind of touched on them. So that was kind of nice to see something a little different that was more about the car company and kind of what that went through and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool that that's what they decided to work on and put as kind of the main story of this film. And I thought that was really cool. Now, this film happens to be directed by an amazing director that has directed a lot of great films and is just an amazing director. And that, of course, is Mr. Michael Mann. Oh, yeah, Michael Mann. Woo, Michael Mann, yeah. So, of course, you might recognize Michael Mann as the director of the film Heat from '95. You might recognize him as the director of Man on Fire, etc. And he is just an amazing director. He's directed so many great films over the years. And he just always has a really great eye for directing. And I've always appreciated his directing because he always gives a nice, clear beginning, middle, and end in his films. And I really appreciate everything that he has brought to the, directing community too, and some of the great skills he's brought. And I think that he has a really good eye for, certain shots throughout movies are very poignant in Michael Mann films and so forth, and I just really like everything he does with his films. So I think that he directed this film really well. I really appreciated what he brought to it. I like that he decided to go with that portion of Ferrari's story, and I really liked it that it didn't harp on his relationship and stuff like that and like his health and all that kind of stuff. And I thought that it was really cool that it focused really on Ferrari, the company, the most. And I thought Michael did a great job at giving us a really great story about that section of Enzo's life. And, dealing a little bit with his son that he had with his mistress and the death of his firstborn and so forth and stuff like that. So I really appreciated what they brought, and they gave us a little bit of each, but they really focused on one particular story of Enzo's life. And I thought Michael did a great job. Especially with, taking the writing and putting it onto the screen and giving us a really solid film and a great casting by the casting agent in this film, getting us Adam Driver and all the different actors they got for this film, because Michael was able to bring out all the greatness from all these actors and actresses and give these really outstanding performances that were really well done. Now, if you haven't seen something that Michael Mann has directed, definitely a great film to check out of his, and is another film that's based on a true story that came out in 1999 starring Russell Crowe called The Insider. Yeah, The Insider. Yeah. Great movie. Once again, another film that really shows the passion Michael Mann has for directing films and giving us a really solid, based on true story, a film that covers really what it needs to cover and not have all this unnecessary extras. And that's what I appreciated about The Insider, and I thought that Michael did a great job. Not only did he give us a really great story, and acting from Russell Crowe and everyone that was in the film, he also did a really great job of the locations that he chose to film scenes and so forth and stuff like that. He really got really great images that really brought you into the film. And I just think The Insider really showed Michael Mann's true directing ability. If you haven't seen anything Michael Mann's directed, definitely check out The Insider. He did a really superb job with that film. But I thought he did a really great job with Ferrari. I thought he did a superb and fantastic job. And just once again, another great film to add to his great filmography of another great based on true story film. If you haven't seen anything Michael Mann has done recently, go check out Ferrari in theaters now. He did an awesome job. So this film has a really great cast, a lot of great actors and actresses that all are great in their own right. All of them have had, kind of flops of films, and a lot of them have had really great films, but at the same time, all of them have a really great acting ability that really brings to life their characters. And some of them are more so than others, but definitely a couple of them are really, really amazing actors and actresses, and some of them they're okay. They do a decent job. Now, to start us off is none other than Enzo Ferrari himself in the film, Mr. Adam Driver. Oh yeah, Adam Driver, woo, Adam Driver, yeah. So Adam Driver, of course, you might recognize as Kylo Ren from the recent Star Wars trilogy. You might recognize him from 65 that came out this year. You might recognize him from a few other films over the years that he's done. Marriage Story and so forth. And he is just a really great actor that I think is a rising star still. Like, I feel that everything he does, he gets better and better with. And from everything he's done, I've always enjoyed him, and I think that his Kylo Ren performances have been amazing. And I think that he doesn't get enough credit for how talented he really is for being, a person that has done so many different kind of varieties of characters, from dramatic elements to rom-com elements to comedy to action to surreal stories to real stories. Everything he's done, pretty much a little bit of everything, in between and everything, and he's just really great. And I really enjoy anything he always does, because he always brings it to life very well, and you feel for him and you feel his characters, and I think that Adam does a really good job with that. Now, another film that you should definitely check out that he's in, that he was really fantastic in, is a great film that came out in 2018 called Black Klansman. Yeah, Black Klansman. This is utterly one of my all-time favorite Spike Lee films, and he made it so amazing, and Adam Driver was fantastic as the avatar, almost, for, David Washington's character on the phone to get into the Ku Klux Klan. And I love what Adam Driver brought to that character. I loved his cop persona. I liked everything he brought to it. And I liked how he gave it a very realistic approach, but at the same time, he kept that great kind of grittiness that he always has for his characters and just for his acting. And I just thought that he worked really well and paired really well with David Washington and pretty much anyone in that film. They all worked so well together, and you really felt like he really was that detective that worked with Ron, the cop that basically was the first African American cop to take down the Ku Klux Klan, basically, to infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan, and first black cop to be in that particular police force in the area that they were in. And I appreciated just how well they conceived that and how great Spike Lee made that movie. And Adam's performance just was a great addition to that whole film itself, and really made it really well-rounded. If you haven't seen anything Adam Driver has been in, definitely check out Black Klansman. If you haven't, he was super fantastic in it. He was on point and amazing in it. But when it comes to, finishing off with his performance in Ferrari, his Enzo Ferrari was on point fantastic. He did the accent very well. He got the mannerisms down. He portrayed the character so well. And one of the things about Enzo Ferrari is that most people have said in biographies and stuff like that, is that he seemed like a very cold man, and he had no emotion. And Adam Driver did that so beautifully in the film, giving that not emotion kind of energy. And I think he did a great job of portraying Enzo. And I think even Enzo would be impressed with how well he portrayed him. He just did an awesome job, and I absolutely think he deserves nominations this year for his performance as Enzo. If you haven't seen Adam Driver recently, go check him out in Ferrari. He was really superb. So that brings me to the next person I'd like to talk about that was in this film. And that is none other than the actress that played Enzo's wife in the film, Miss Penelope Cruz. Oh yeah, Penelope Cruz, woo! Penelope Cruz, yeah! So Penelope Cruz, of course, you might recognize for a few things over the years, Volver and so forth. And, of course, as Javier Bardem's wife. And, Penelope, I pretty much have always enjoyed in anything she's been in. I've always enjoyed her. I think she does a pretty decent job. She usually plays, authentic kind of characters that are usually either, Hispanic or, around that part of the country. And, or world, I should say, in that country. And she is always playing great characters that are always, I think, fun and enjoyable. And usually she brings a great flair to the characters that you kind of enjoy and you love and you fall in love with her characters, or you even sometimes hate her. And she's just a really fun actress. Now, if you haven't seen her in anything, definitely a great movie to check her out in, and is probably one of my favorites of her performances. Is a great film that came out in 2018, is a remake of a great film based on an Agatha Christie book called Murder on the Orient Express. Yeah, Murder on the Orient Express, yeah. So Murder on the Orient Express, like I said, in 2018 is a remake that Kenneth Branagh made, and Penelope Cruz plays the nurse in the film, and she was really fantastic as that character. I loved her determination. I loved everything she brought to that character, and I thought that she did a good job of portraying that character and giving us a solid characterization of, of what that nurse would be like, and how she would feel and why she would join up in the cause of why they all did certain things. And Penelope did a great job of just giving us a really solid performance in that film that I don't think she gets any recognition for, and she was really good in it. I really enjoyed her, and I thought, it was a fantastic addition to that great ensemble cast. If you haven't seen Penelope in anything, definitely check out Murder in the Orient Express. She did a fantastic job. But overall, I really enjoyed her as Enzo's wife in the film. And I thought that she did a great job when she had to do very dramatic scenes where she's yelling at Enzo for finding out about his mistress and all this kind of stuff, and that he has a child with her, and that she's still angry about the death of their son and stuff like that. And I thought that she did a great job of portraying that and give us a really great idea of kind of what that woman was kind of like, that what she was dealing with and what kind of Enzo was dealing with. And I thought Penelope did a great job of emphasizing that and giving us a really great portrayal. Great performance by her. If you haven't seen her in anything recently, Penelope Cruz, definitely check her out in Ferrari. She did a really great job. So that brings me to the final actress I'd like to talk about this film, and that is none other than the mistress herself, Miss Shailene Woodley. Oh yeah, Shailene Woodley, woo, Shailene Woodley, yeah. So Miss Woodley, who is probably best known for the Divergent series films. Is an upcoming actress that has been in quite a few things over the years, has made a name for herself. I think she most recently also was in a movie about robots of herself and stuff like that, which looked pretty funny. And she is one of those actresses that I think she's a little overrated, but she's okay. She's not horrible, but at the same time, I don't think she's anything that great. And I wasn't looking for anything spectacular from her from this film, but she did a decent job. I thought she did a good job of playing that character. I didn't mind her in the film. I thought she did a good job portraying this woman and acting by Adam Driver, and they worked really well together and all that kind of good stuff. And I thought that she did a good job with, the few scenes she had throughout the film, giving us kind of a representation of, kind of what this woman was thinking over in Italy, back in the 1950s, 1960 era. And, being a woman, back in that time was so different than now. And, how things worked then, like being this kind of like stay-at-home housewife almost type of deal. She portrayed that really well, giving us kind of a great kind of thought process or look or mirror into that time period. And I thought that Shailene did a really good job of portraying that. Now, another movie she was in that I actually didn't mind her and I thought she was also good in, and I think that she portrayed the character really well, is a great film that came out a few years back that's about a great journalist, or even, I would say journalist, but also a computer whiz. And that, of course, is the film called Snowden. Yeah, Snowden. Yeah, the film with Joseph Gordon-Levitt playing Edward Snowden. And she actually plays a character that is a love interest of Edward Snowden, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed what she brought to it, and I thought she worked really well with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I think that she was a really great addition to that film and just worked really well for kind of giving us an idea of who that character was. And I thought, once again, like I said, I don't think she's anything great, but at the same time, I think she did a good job of bringing to life this character and just, being a good, version of what that lady could have possibly been like and stuff like that. So I thought she did a decent job in the film, and I thought overall she was pretty good. If you haven't seen Snowden or Shailene Woodley in anything recently, definitely check her out on Snowden and see what she was like. She did a pretty damn good job. And overall, she did a decent job in Ferrari, and like I said, I thought she was pretty decent in this, and I enjoyed her interpretation of this mistress and, her character in the film. I thought she did a decent job. If you haven't seen Shailene Woodley in anything recently, definitely go check out on Ferrari in theaters now. She was really good. So what is Ferrari about? Basically, the premise of Ferrari is it's pretty much towards the late 50s, early 60s, and Ferrari is basically pretty much bankrupt. And Ferrari himself, Enzo, has to basically come up with an idea of how to save the company. And basically the film's about him trying to get the racing going again and selling more cars by racing and winning championships. And it's about basically him dealing with getting drivers, building cars, and basically dealing with that while dealing with his failing marriage and, trying to basically at that time when you couldn't publicly say that he had another son that he had with a mistress. And I think they did an amazing job with this film. It was so well done, so well conceived, really well done. Really enjoyed what they did with it, and I thought overall it just was a really great interpretation of Enzo Ferrari's story. And I love how, like I said, once again, how they focused on one portion of his life versus his whole entire biography. And I thought that made a big difference of making this movie so good. If you haven't seen it yet, definitely go check out Ferrari in theaters now. It was fantastic, giant 10 golden movie boxes up. Definitely be adding it to the collection. It was really fun. A great biopic, and overall just a really fun movie. So that's it for this movie review, guys. As always, thank you for watching, thank you for liking, also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been before, don't forget to check any older new videos, but I haven't seen mine yet. As always, people, I just want to thank you for all the new subscribers, all the subscribers that have stayed and watched my content. You guys are rocking it. But if you want to show support for the channel, definitely check out my awesome Patreon page, where you get all kinds of extra accoutrement when you become a member, where you can't get right here on YouTube. So help a guy out. As always, catch you next one.